Hello, and welcome to Veterans Helping Veterans TV. I'm your guest host today, Melissa Washington. I'm a Navy veteran, and I'm also the CEO and founder of Women Veterans Alliance. And today, this show is all about women veterans. I've got a great guest that I'm going to bring on in a little bit. But I first wanted to talk about when we look at women veteran population as far as statistics. A lot of people sometimes forget that women have served in the military. We've been serving since the Revolutionary War. And we've got a great infographic that we're going to show you that we put together to talk about that. So right now, when we look at women veterans, there are nearly 2 million women veterans that have served in the United States military. And when we break that down, 1 in 69 women are a veteran. Also, too, the average age of a woman that has served in the military is 48 years old. So if you look at all the women, our average age is 48 years old. Also, too, some really interesting other statistics too. When we look at the women veteran population, we're utilizing our education benefits a lot more. Also, too, on the infographic showed that we also too are, if you look at entrepreneurship, it's a year-over-year increase as far as women veterans that are owning their own and starting their own business with that. But what's very interesting to me, and still today, is I find that a lot of women do not identify themselves as veterans. So why is that? And even when I got out of the military 20 plus years ago, I personally didn't consider myself a veteran. Yes, I served in the Navy, but my dad was a veteran. I mean, he was in Vietnam. He wears the Vietnam veteran ball cap. And then, when we do think of veterans, we think of usually an older gentleman with the ball cap. But so with women, and I ask women, why don't you consider yourself a veteran? And I get responses, well, I just did 2 or 3 years, or I served during peacetime, or I never went outside of the U.S. Or didn't serve in combat, so I'm not a veteran. So what happens is if women aren't identifying themselves as veterans, they may not be utilizing their earned benefits. And when we talk about earned benefits, I'm talking about our education benefits that we have as veterans, but also too education benefits that our children could be eligible for as well. Talking about a home loan, talking about, whether it's the discount at Home Depot or wherever else you might go, having that veteran status. And also, too, as far as VA healthcare. And a lot of women just don't feel that they are qualified for these different benefits. And the reason why is a lot of them just feel that they're just not connected with that. So one of the things, too, is I always like to share with veterans, men and women, is to get connected with your county veteran service office. They can share with you the benefits that you qualify for, because again, it's going to depend upon the time you serve, when you serve. There's all these different parameters, but you just really want to make sure that you're getting the correct information on the benefits that you're qualified for. And then we talk about VA healthcare, and that's so important. I think just healthcare for women in general. Women, our bodies, of course, are built different than men. Our needs are different than men. Also, too, if women have served in the military, there are also other things that may happen to a woman's body because of her time in service with that. And also, too, these things need to, women need to be able to have a doctor where she can share these things with her, because a lot of times things could have happened during service that can attribute to things that may be going on with her body today. And a lot of times women feel, well, I don't want to go to the VA. VA is there's such a bad rap, going to the Veterans Administration. You hear reports of women being assaulted, women being harassed at the VA. A lot of women assume that the VA doesn't have a women's health care program specifically for her. So, we're going to really talk about a lot of these myths out there, so we can really make sure that we're educating our women. Because as we look at our women veteran population, right now, we're between 9 and 11% of the population, and we're increasing. So we need to make sure that, one, the VA is equipped to handle the women, but also let the women know as they're transitioning out of the military that there are services there that can help her. And I personally, I do also, I use the VA. And one of the things I wanted to share, which I'm going to have to read, is the VA health system has two women health primary care providers on site, and 90% of clinics have a women's health care provider. Nearly 140 medical centers have an on-site gynecologist, and every medical center provides mental and physical treatments for conditions related to military sexual trauma. And also too, if some of you may have been in a recent training, that there is a new pilot program that's designed for our women that are still in the military, as well as the women that have transitioned in the last 10 years, that is focused on addressing women's health care needs. And some of you may have heard the VA commercials. Actually, I heard one not that long ago on the morning drive on AM radio, where the VA has commercials that are targeting specifically to women that have served in the military about their health care. And they have a big initiative. And one of their initiatives is they've reached out to more than 1.2 million female veterans nationwide to explain to them the benefits and provide them information on the healthcare services that are available. And what that is they want to close the gap between the men and the women that utilize the VA for their medical care. So with that, and I know there are gaps, again, I use it, I speak with women veterans all the time, but how can we get more women to utilize the VA for their health care and let them know what the programs are that are out there? So that leads me to my guest that I have here today. And I want to introduce everyone to Elizabeth Zimmerman. She is the Acting Women Veterans Program Manager for VA Palo Alto Healthcare System. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Melissa, for having me.
Absolutely. So some women probably even know that there is a Women Veterans Program Manager. Or what is a Women Veterans Program Manager? I don't think people even know about that the VA has that. So what is the role? I mean, not just your role, because these are throughout the country.
So the role of a women program manager, women veterans program manager, is truly to be a veteran advocate for our women veterans. And so the program manager works with the women's health medical director at your VA site. And I primarily oversee the planning of the health care that's provided to our women veterans, making sure that it's high quality, ensuring the privacy, the security, and the dignity of each women veteran that we do serve. We promote wellness and health. And I personally, as a program manager, advocate for our women veterans, identify issues, and find a resolution, because that's very important to address those issues. Our Women Veteran Program at VA Palo Alto is very mission-driven. It's all about the mission, and what we want to ensure is that healthcare delivery is done having high quality, it's personalized, and it's timely for our women veterans. We want to be the primary base of where women veterans receive their health care. That's a fact. Women veterans use primary care services more heavily than male veterans. And as you mentioned before, women veterans on average are much younger than their male counterparts. And another fact is that since 2000, women veterans have grown threefold nationally. So as each healthcare system in the VA prepares for our women veterans, it's definitely important that the Women's Veteran Program maintains as being robust and ensuring that we can continue to advocate for the healthcare needs of our women veterans.
Absolutely. And, you know, and we talked a little bit before the program, and, you know, and a lot of times, and, you know, I don't agree with everyone. Everyone says veterans should be, all veterans, all the employees at the VA should be veterans, which I 100% don't agree with. And you're not a veteran, but you care about veterans. And if you would share your story about your dad, and I think that's so important too, because we need, of course, you know, our people that want to support veterans and have that compassion and that passion for our veterans. And I'd love for you just to share that of why you're here. Why would somebody want to come from the private sector and work at the VA?
And my story is truly important and very personal to me. So my father was a Vietnam War veteran. My grandfather served in World War II. And I have additional family members who have served our country faithfully. I am a true believer in mission, serving those who have served. And so though I am not myself a veteran, I'm very passionate about the care that we provide our veterans. The story that I mentioned to you earlier before the show was that my father, towards the end of his life, he was battling metastatic colon cancer, and he was cared for in our hospice unit in VA Palo Alto. And not just working there, but seeing the care and that the nursing staff, the medical staff provided to my father and my mom, it solidifies the reason why I work there. And I'm very passionate about the work that we do have at VA Palo Alto, but I'm even more passionate about the care that we do provide our women veterans.
And I could feel it. and thank you for that. I mean, I feel it's so important for our women watching, or whether it's the parents of a woman veteran or a spouse, you know, to let them know about, you know, VA Palo Alto and others as far as the women's, the program. So when we talk about, you know, we talk about primary care, we talk about, you know, the women's health. Or so do you have a full-time gynecologist, or how is the program set up there at Palo Alto?
Absolutely. So VA Palo Alto healthcare system is a healthcare system. We have our home campus that is that houses our women's health center that's located in the Palo Alto campus. Additionally, we have 8 community-based outpatient clinics. So those are clinics that also deliver women's health care. So the services that we provide is not only preventative, but primary care, comprehensive services. We also provide mental health services geared towards women veterans and their needs. In our Women's Health Center at VA Palo Alto, that campus, we additionally provide a pain management clinic. We have a heart prevention program clinic that's run with one of our providers, our doctors, and our pharmacists. We also have gynecology services. We have 3 gynecologists that work at our Women's Health Center. They also have standing they also work with, in collaboration with our academic partner, Stanford University. And so they bring that academic knowledge into our healthcare system so that we can provide top-notch care for our women veterans. In addition, one of the things that we do focus on is oncology care, so cancer care. So we're one of the very few gynecology oncology programs in this area for women veterans. And so I feel that as we bolster our women veteran program, we're also bolstering our women's health program. Additionally, we not only did I mention the mental health aspect, we provide the counseling for anxiety, PTSD, insomnia, even stress management, because we know as women, a lot of these things do affect other aspects of our health, such as cardiovascular disease. We also provide mammography screenings on site at VA Palo Alto campus.
Are you doing the 2D, 3D? What do you guys, do you know?
I believe we're doing the 2D, 3D. Okay. It's only mammography screenings, but we want to get that out there, the word out there, because you can actually walk in same day and get your mammography screening at VA Palo Alto. So please do come, those who need to have that. We also have a mammography coordinator as well as a maternity coordinator. So some women veterans are not aware that VA can help throughout their pregnancy on finding resources and making sure that they go see their OB gynecologist throughout their pregnancy. So we have a maternity coordinator that assists our pregnant women veterans.
So they'll be there coordinating. You don't have OB on staff, but they coordinate out there in the civilian community with the doctors. And from what I also understand, you guys provide like breast pumps, and there's all kinds of things that are provided, and women just aren't even aware of this, that's provided there.
Exactly. And our gynecologists, and that's why it's very important that we maintain these relationships with gynecologists that actually practice in the academic settings that maybe not be VA, but they bring those experiences and those resources to share with our women veterans. And so we're very proud of the team, our providers, our nursing team that works with women's health, not only in our women's health center, but then also we have women's health doctors and nursing teams represented in all of the 8 other community-based outpatient clinics. So we're trying to be robust. We're trying to make sure that every women veteran sees a women's health primary care provider, because these are providers that are, and nursing liaisons that are trained not only in women's health, but to actually support any issues or conditions that may come up because you served in the military.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I wasn't even aware you had the oncology there, and also too, we're more at risk too of whether breast cancer because of different exposures. So that's great that is available there. So what else? So I know last year there was a baby shower they had throughout the U.S. and Palo Alto participated in the baby shower for the women, and I've heard it was a success.
Yes, it was. It was an absolute success, and hopefully we will be able to plan something soon locally. But then that's just one of the things that we're planning for our women veterans, and even women veterans that are not necessarily enrolled in VA Palo Alto. We want to get the word out, right? We want them to visit our health center. Call me. My number is on the website. And they can most certainly call me and ask me questions about the Women Veteran Program. We partner with our EEO Federation of Women. So these are women employees who are very passionate about highlighting health conditions. We participate in a breast cancer awareness walk. Wow. We also support the Heart Health Month. Wear Red for Women is a VA Women's Health Service partnership with the American Heart Association, because many people and even women don't know. They're too busy being mothers, sisters, caregivers to really know that cardiovascular disease remains to be the #1 killer of women, even with all the cancers combined. So we're trying to get the word out not only for women in general, but specifically our women veterans who may have other health conditions. We want to help them provide them with support for whole health. Not just medical, not just mental, but the whole person and what that women veteran needs.
And that's so important because that affects everything else too. And that's, when we talk to women, we gotta take care of our whole self. And I know sometimes it's hard because we're that caregiver, we're taking the kids to school or we're taking care of parents and we're not taking care of ourselves. And it's great to hear, VA Palo Alto you're taking care of the whole woman, which I love it, and I'm truly so glad that you were able to come on here today. So is there anything else that you wanted to share for, whether specifically about the programs or just about, just women's health in general?
I think that women have a tendency, and I included, to take care of everyone else, and then we put ourselves last. One thing I would really like to put out there is that, cardiovascular disease, heart disease, that includes stroke, is serious. Breast cancer, cervical cancer is serious. So when you need to have those breast screenings, breast exam screenings, and all those cervical pap smear screenings, do it. And to take care of your heart. So we're definitely trying to fight this battle, but I think that arming women and women veterans with the knowledge that there are simple things that they can do to make their health better. And so following from the American Heart Association, Life's Simple 7. So get active, eat better, lose weight, control your cholesterol, manage your blood pressure, decrease your blood sugar, and stop smoking. So what we want to really share with our women veterans out there is that please take care of yourself. And I hope that VA Palo Alto, or wherever you may find yourself, whatever VA facility you may find yourself in, can take care of you.
Great. Thank you. I even learned something. I love it. So Great. Well, you heard today from Elizabeth Zimmerman at VA Palo Alto, Women's Health Program Manager. And again, you know, you might want to check with your VA to to check about the Women's Veterans Health Program that we have. So what I wanted to share is that how do you find out about more information about the women's health care? And believe it or not, this little known secret called the Women Veterans Call Center. And for women can reach this by calling 855 VA Women, and this call center is staffed by all women. So when you pick up the phone and you call, and we have the hours listed on there, you will actually be speaking with a woman that can answer questions regarding VA healthcare. And again, so important. Like Elizabeth was mentioning, you know, there are things that we forget about too. Because we're so busy taking care of others, you know, we needed to make sure we're taking care of our heart, our breasts, our whole body. So I wanted to shift a little bit here to talk about the Center for Women Veterans. This year, actually just this month, they launched their 2019 campaign, and it's the Trailblazers, Women Breaking Barriers, and they just announced the first week of March, 15 women. And these women in this powerful campaign highlights the experiences and contributions of 15 women veterans and provides VA the opportunity to share their stories about how their military service and unique experiences led to their continued roles as leaders and advocates in the community where they live and work. And as you see, there is a photo of some of the 15 women that were honored at the Women's Memorial in Washington, D.C., and yes, that is me in the front. I am the second from the right. I was honored to be one of these 15 women that was honored by the Department of Veterans Affairs. And let me tell you, these women that stand beside me, their accomplishments both in and out of uniform, phenomenal. It is amazing what veterans we continue to serve after we've got out of the military. And if you are a military woman, you'll probably recognize the woman right in the middle, because if you don't know who she is, that's General Vought. She is the military rock star of the Women's Memorial, and she's a fantastic woman, and it was a very honored to be part of that. So with that, also too, our portraits are going to be on display throughout the United States, throughout the different VA hospitals, so definitely you could take a look at those 15 photos. Also during that week, we got to spend a day on the Hill, in which we got to include a visit with Senator Tammy Duckworth, which was very awesome to be able to see Senator Duckworth. And we have a photo of her. And if you don't know Senator Duckworth, she's a amputee Army war veteran, and she is phenomenal. So what I want to jump into real quick to wrap up this is to talk about the Women Veterans Alliance Annual Unconference that's taking place this year at the Hyatt Monterey. And this is our 5th one, and it is going to be amazing. And if you haven't been, I would highly recommend that you come out to the Hyatt October 11th through the 13th. And with this, I have a video that we've put together that's going to give you a sneak peek of what you can expect, and also too, it will share what you missed and give you opportunity to take a look at of that video. This is our fourth Women Veterans Alliance Unconference, and one of the things we could not do this without is our fantastic sponsors, and you'll see them right here. We have Waste Management, DAV, USC, and if you're not familiar with USC, they have a Master's Business Veterans Program called the MBV, and also Georgia Pacific is here to talk about their different opportunities and their veterans initiatives, not only for Georgia Pacific, but also for Koch Industries as well. We have fantastic exhibitors that are here, and someone said you have a really eclectic group of vendors and exhibitors, and why is that? It's because one of them is we're bringing in all the different resources for our women veterans here in one place.
So am I done
And
at
that's
the
what we
end?
want to do. We want to bring those resources here for you so you can get that information, take it back home to your community. We want to equip you with those resources, empower you, and encourage you to use those resources. And what I love about our breakout sessions, it's again, not that typical breakout session. We have a variety for everyone. This year we had the Veterans in Media and Entertainment. We had 5 women veterans that are in front of the camera and behind the camera, and they were interviewed by Cheryl Schaefer, and they were able to tell their story. They were here last year, they're going to be back next year, and women love to hear that. And also too, it opens a door for them, for women attending to look at, maybe there's opportunity for them that they never knew was there, or they never know that they thought they could do. Also too, we've had Gail Sofer, she's fantastic. Mindful Warrior Project, she is here, this woman is here, she is exhibiting. She had a fantastic breakout session, really talking about the whole mindfulness piece, and she brings a whole team of practitioners here for her whole wellness area. And in addition to that, we have a new clothing boutique, and that's what makes us very unique. They're not used or gently used clothing. They're brand new clothing that Danielle Marshall partners with organizations that donate these beautiful, expensive clothing. And in addition to the women receiving the clothing, they also get a stylist, who is Danielle, that will help them find the right clothing for their body type.
My name is Danielle Marshall. I'm an Air Force veteran. I served 2 enlistments in the Air Force until I was injured in the line of duty and had to find a new path for myself. For the last 4 years, I've assisted with sponsoring the Styled Boutique, where women veterans get to come in and go shopping and get dressed for their body type, and it's actually free of charge thanks to our amazing sponsors and vendors, the Worth Company in New York, Kiana Clothing here in Anaheim, and also Touchstone by Swarovski helped us to style over 65 women in full outfits today.
Melanie Hall was here. She's a former Army officer.
There's 23 million veterans. Of those veterans, 3 million are women. It is vital that we support each other, and I want no woman veteran to feel that she is on her own, and that I want her to share the gift of tenacity and all that we can accomplish together as badass women.
So with Women Veterans Alliance, we do the Unconference 3 days a year, but 365 days a year, we are empowering women veterans across the U.S., and actually not even only across the U.S., but across the globe, as we are working to connect with women veterans that are still on active duty, so we can help get them connected to careers, get them connected to resources and other women. So with this 3-day Unconference, we're able to bring all these women into one place so they can connect and have that sisterhood and that community and that camaraderie. And with our Unconference coming up in 2019 in Monterey, we are looking for, always additional partnerships as well as women to come. So I hope that we'll see you there next year. Well, I hope you're excited as I am, so register now. Just to wrap it up, the best way to stay informed is to follow us on all social media platforms. Just Google Women Veterans Alliance, get connected with us, get on our newsletter lists, and again, be connected, not just only women veterans, but supporters. Thank you.